The year was 1886, and the Arizona Territory stretched endlessly beneath a blazing desert sun. Dust rolled across the empty plains, while distant mountains shimmered in the afternoon heat. It was a land where survival depended on courage, where lonely ranches stood miles apart, and where danger often arrived before sunrise. Riding across those unforgiving trails was Daniel Brooks, a 34-year-old widowed cowboy whose weathered face revealed years of hardship. Once, Daniel had dreamed of raising a family on his quiet ranch beside the Verde River, but a terrible fever had claimed his young wife, Sarah, only 3 years earlier, leaving him completely alone. Since that heartbreaking day, Daniel had buried his grief beneath endless work, caring for horses, repairing fences, and avoiding the nearby towns whenever possible. Silence had become his closest companion, and every sunset reminded him of the life he had lost. That afternoon, Daniel was returning home after delivering cattle to a trading post when he noticed circling vultures above a narrow desert ravine. Experience had taught him that scavengers usually meant death, but something urged him to investigate. Guiding his horse carefully through the rocky trail, he discovered the remains of a violent attack. Broken wagon wheels lay scattered across the sand, empty cartridge shells glittered beneath the sun, and fresh horse tracks disappeared toward the distant hills. Then he heard a faint cry. Hidden behind a cluster of desert rocks lay a badly injured Apache woman, no older than 28. Her buckskin dress was torn, one arm was bleeding heavily, and exhaustion had nearly stolen her strength. She tried to reach for a small hunting knife, believing the approaching cowboy might be another enemy, but her body could no longer obey her commands. Daniel slowly climbed down from his horse, keeping his hands visible so she would understand he meant no harm. Years of conflict between settlers and Apache tribes had created fear on both sides, and he knew she had every reason to distrust him. Quietly removing his canteen, he offered her water instead of questions. For several long moments, the woman simply stared into his eyes, searching for signs of betrayal. Finally, her trembling hands accepted the canteen. She drank slowly before collapsing unconscious against the rocks. Daniel examined her injuries and quickly realized she would never survive another hour beneath the burning desert sun. Whatever had happened here had left her completely alone. Without hesitation, he wrapped her carefully in a wool blanket, lifted her onto his horse, and began the slow journey back to his isolated ranch. The trip home lasted until nightfall. Daniel rode cautiously through lonely valleys, avoiding the main trails where bounty hunters and outlaws often traveled. Several times he heard distant gunfire echo across the desert, reminding him that whoever had attacked the bee woman might still be searching for survivors. When he finally reached his small log cabin beside the Verde River, he carried the unconscious stranger inside and laid her upon his own bed. Using the limited medical supplies left behind by his late wife, Daniel cleaned her wounds, stitched the deep cut along her shoulder, and wrapped fresh bandages around her injured arm. Throughout the night, he remained beside the fireplace, adding wood to the flames and checking her fever whenever she stirred in restless sleep. 3 days passed before the woman finally opened her eyes. She immediately reached for the knife resting beside the bed, but Daniel gently stepped back and assured her she was safe. Speaking softly, he introduced himself before asking her name. After a long silence, she whispered, "Naya." Though still cautious, she slowly realized the cowboy had saved her life instead of turning her over to soldiers or bounty hunters. Daniel prepared simple meals, gathered medicinal herbs from the nearby hills, and allowed her all the time she needed to recover. Trust came slowly, but every act of kindness weakened the walls fear had built around her heart. As the weeks passed, Naya regained her strength. Refusing to remain idle, she helped feed the horses each morning, repaired worn leather saddles with remarkable skill, and gathered wild herbs that grew along the riverbanks. Daniel was surprised by her quiet determination and gentle nature. In return, he taught her how to care for the cattle and repair broken ranch fences. Every evening, after finishing their work, they sat beside the campfire beneath a sky overflowing with stars. Daniel spoke of Sarah and the peaceful life they had once dreamed of building together. Naya listened with compassion before sharing stories of her own people, describing celebrations, songs, and family traditions that had filled her childhood with happiness before violence reached their lands. Although they came from different worlds, both carried the same heavy burden of loss. Slowly, loneliness gave way to friendship, and the quiet ranch no longer felt empty. One windy afternoon, several Apache scouts appeared near the ranch. Their solemn expressions told Naya the news before anyone spoke a single word. They explained that while she had been recovering, a ruthless outlaw gang had attacked her remote village, burning homes, stealing horses, and killing nearly everyone who remained. Her elderly parents, younger brother, and relatives had all perished. Naya stood frozen as grief overwhelmed her. The people who had raised her, laughed with her, and taught her the traditions of her ancestors were gone forever. When the scouts departed, silence settled over the ranch. Tears streamed down her face as she walked toward Daniel, her voice trembling with heartbreak. Looking into the eyes of the only person who had shown her kindness since the attack, she whispered, "Please, don't. Leave me alone. Let me build a new life here with you." Daniel couldn't answer immediately. The desperate plea echoed through the quiet evening as he looked toward the lonely cabin that had stood empty since Sarah's death. He understood that allowing Naya to stay would place both of them in danger. Many settlers would never accept an Apache woman living on a white cowboy's ranch, and outlaws who had destroyed her village might one day come searching for her. Yet, as he looked into her tear-filled eyes, Daniel realized she was no longer simply a stranger he had rescued in the desert. She had become the first person to bring warmth, hope, and life back into a home that grief had nearly destroyed. Standing beneath the fading light of the Arizona sunset, he knew that whatever choice he made next would change both of their destinies forever. Daniel stood silently on the porch of his small log cabin as the evening sun disappeared behind the Arizona mountains. Naya's words echoed through his heart. "Please, don't leave me alone." For a long time, he stared across the quiet ranch where loneliness had ruled since Sarah's death. He knew the decision before him was not a simple one. In the 1886 American Wild West, many settlers still viewed the Apache with suspicion and hatred. If the nearby townspeople discovered that an Apache woman was living on his ranch, they might refuse to trade with him or even drive them both away. Yet when Daniel looked at Naya, he no longer saw a stranger from another tribe. He saw a brave woman who had lost everything she had ever loved. Without saying another word, he gently placed his hand on her shoulder and told her that as long as he lived, she would never have to face the world alone again. The following weeks marked a new beginning for the lonely ranch. Using rough pine logs cut from nearby hills, Daniel built a comfortable room beside the cabin so Naya would finally have a place she could truly call home. Together, they repaired broken fences, restored empty horse corrals, and planted vegetables beside the riverbank. Every sunrise found them working side by side, sharing responsibilities without complaint. Naya's knowledge of desert plants helped heal sick horses and improve the ranch's small garden, while Daniel taught her how to manage cattle and repair wagons. The quiet property that had once seemed abandoned slowly came back to life. Laughter returned to the campfire, horses grew stronger, and neighbors passing along the trail began noticing that the old ranch no longer looked forgotten. Not everyone welcomed the change. Rumors spread quickly through the nearby settlement that Daniel Brooks was sheltering an Apache woman. Some ranchers refused to shake his hand at the trading post, while others warned him that helping Naya would bring trouble to his doorstep. Daniel ignored their harsh words. He judged people by their actions rather than the stories told about them. Over time, a few honest neighbors noticed how hard Daniel and Naya worked together. They saw healthy cattle grazing in the fields, fresh vegetables growing beside the cabin, and travelers receiving water and food whenever they stopped at the ranch. Slowly, respect began replacing suspicion. Even those who had once doubted Naya quietly admitted that she possessed remarkable courage, kindness, and determination. Several months later, danger returned without warning. One dusty afternoon, a cloud of riders appeared on the horizon. Daniel immediately recognized the leader, Cole Mercer, the ruthless outlaw responsible for countless robberies across the territory and believed to have ordered the attack that destroyed Naya's village. Mercer had learned that Daniel's ranch now held healthy horses, fresh supplies, and fertile land worth stealing. Confident that one cowboy and a single Apache woman could never stop his gang, he rode toward the cabin demanding they surrender everything they owned. Daniel calmly stepped onto the porch with his Winchester rifle, while Naya quietly disappeared behind the barn. Mercer laughed, believing victory would come easily. The outlaws charged forward, but they quickly discovered they had made a terrible mistake. Naya had learned every survival skill her father could teach. Hidden among the rocks and trees surrounding the ranch, she used her bow with remarkable precision, forcing several outlaws from their horses before they even reached the cabin. Daniel defended the front yard with steady determination, firing only when necessary to protect their home. The battle raged across the dusty fields as frightened horses galloped through clouds of smoke. When Mercer attempted to sneak around the barn, Naya confronted him herself. With fearless determination, she disarmed the outlaw long enough for Daniel to overpower him. Seeing their leader captured and surrounded, the remaining gang members abandoned the fight and fled into the desert, leaving their stolen supplies behind. The victory changed everything. News of Daniel and Naya's bravery spread throughout the territory. Settlers who had once refused to accept her now realized she had risked her own life, defending not only Daniel's ranch, but also the surrounding community from dangerous criminals. Families began visiting the ranch once again, bringing gifts, trading supplies, and thanking them for protecting the frontier. Children laughed freely around Naya, no longer influenced by the fears that had divided previous generations. For the first time since arriving at the ranch, she felt she truly belonged. Years passed, and the lonely cabin beside the Verde River became a place known for kindness rather than conflict. Daniel and Naya built a peaceful life together, welcoming weary travelers, helping struggling neighbors, and proving that trust could overcome even the deepest divisions. Every evening they sat beneath the endless western sky, watching the sunset paint the desert in shades of gold and crimson. Looking across the thriving ranch they had built together, Daniel often remembered the day he found an injured Apache woman alone in the desert. One act of compassion had changed both of their destinies forever. What began as a desperate plea, "Don't leave me alone," became the foundation of a family built on courage, loyalty, and hope. In the rugged 1880s Wild West, where fear had so often divided people, Daniel and Naya proved that kindness could create a future stronger than hatred, and that even the loneliest hearts could find a home again.